Hey, how is everyone today? So, I finally finished the book I was supposed to finish in a week, but it took me quite a few weeks. I finally finished The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. I did enjoy it, but I only read a little bit each day. Let's go over what the synopsis says on the back of the book. Irene is a professional spy for the Mysterious Library, a shadowy organization that collects important works of fiction from all the different realities. Most recently, she and her enigmatic assistant Kai have been sent to an alternative London. Their mission, retrieve a particularly dangerous book. The problem, by the time they arrive, it has already been stolen. So, I liked the book because it was close enough to our world, but it flip-flopped. It was just a little science fiction-y, just a little fantasy. So there was enough of our world in it to keep my attention, and there was enough fantasy to make it interesting. Like I said, I actually really like this. So, Storygraph has its rating at 3.68, and it was 329 pages. I also finished a book that I'd been reading, actually quite a long time. I read like 7 or 8 books at a time, so I read a little bit of each book a day. So I finished Nella Larsen, Passing. I actually like this one as well. It was published in 1929, and she was a Harlem Renaissance novelist. She only wrote, she wrote 2 books, 5 short stories, and 3 items of nonfiction. The latest was published in 1930. There was some sort of scandal where she was accused of plagiarism. So that sort of curtailed her writing. She was also a librarian and worked as a nurse. But I really enjoyed it. A little blurb about it. Clara Kendry is living on the edge. Light-skinned, elegant, and ambitious, she is married to a racist white man unaware of her African-American heritage and has severed all ties to her past after deciding to pass as a white woman. Claire's childhood friend, Irene Redfield, just as light-skinned, has chosen to remain within the African-American community and is simultaneously allured and repelled by Claire's risky decision to engage in a racial masquerade for personal and societal gain. I first heard about this book, and I'm starting to read them, on a podcast called Backlisted. Now, it's been going on since 2016, and they have over 200 books that they've featured. So I think this is like the 7th or 8th show back in 2016-ish. So I finally finished that. The next book from that podcast is The Great Fire, which I am going to start and hopefully finish in a more timely fashion. The other books that I read this week, they were all fluff. They were all male romance. I finished the series by Athena Stellar. I finished Sweetheart, Cupcake, and Nugget. They were books 8, 9, and 10 in the series. I think there's one more coming out in the series. I finished First Class Feelings by A.W. Scott and Pink Cheeks by Aria Grace. As in Fluff, their ratings were from between 2.4 to 4.23, so it was a wide range of Storygraph ratings for these. So I think that's about it for this week. Have a good one and have a good week. Talk to you later.